Good evening, good evening. Welcome to another episode of The Mind Game. We're going to get right into it. This is the reason why I'm doing this series on the chronically homeless here in Erie. This individual, what I'm getting ready to introduce y'all to and do this show with tonight, is the number one person in Erie, chronic homelessness. Everybody knows her. She's well known throughout the community, here in the inner city in particular, throughout the whole mental health network, the homeless scene. She's the star of the show. She's the main reason why I decided to do this series. And hopefully the Erie community will reach out to this individual and help her. And I've seen the people in Erie help everybody from all walks of life for everything. And if there's anybody that needs us to reach out and help them, it's this individual right here. She's been homeless on the streets. I'm gonna just let her go and let her tell her story. But before we do that, we're gonna do our regular, we're gonna say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This is real TV, okay? Ain't nothing like this on any other major networks. This is real. Here it is. What's going on, Sunny?
Hi.
Tell us your story. Let's get down to it.
I came to Erie in 1992. I left my family, who was a religious family. My dad's a bishop, my mother's an evangelist. They sheltered me to the point where I was feeling closed in, so I decided at 36, I'd go out on my own. I thought I knew enough. Never lived on my own before. So I struck out and asked someone, where's the best place I could go to live? And they told me Erie, Pennsylvania. So I come to Erie in 1992 again and ended up on the streets. Didn't have any family. Of course, I knew that before I came. I didn't have any friends. So I ended up in the drug war. Ended up sleeping that particular night in a crack house. At that time, I didn't know anything about crack. Had never seen it, didn't know what it was. I was introduced that day or that night. And from there, I stayed in that addiction 4 years till I went to Gaudenzia, and numerous of times. I went to 5 rehabs before I got it right. So I was homeless, living in bandit houses, right now I'm sleeping in I'm no longer on the drug, mind you, but I have smoked marijuana for numerous of reasons, my health reasons, my mental illness such as depression. It helps me to forget all those things. So I still continue periodically smoke the marijuana, but I'm living in a car dealership. The owner gives me permission to stay there because he knows my situation. I help him out, clean and whatever, and he lets me live there. I do plug into the city's things or whatever, how you call them.
Resources.
Yeah, resources. I do or have and am plugging into the resources here. I'm kind of like coming up out of that wormhole and feeling a little better about myself. Right now I'm really looking for housing.
Have you ever had your own apartment?
Yes, I have. I had an apartment on the west side. On 5th and Myrtle, I lived there 3 years. Good landlord and all.
So since 1992, let's give it to him straight. since 1992, since you moved to Erie, you lived in your one apartment for 3 years, and that's it. All the rest of the times, you've been either incarcerated for short periods of time, or you've been on the streets.
Yes, homeless. Mostly homeless on the streets, yeah. Not too much incarcerated, mostly homeless.
Has
on
there
the
been
street.
has there been anybody, Cindy, that come to mind? We're gonna get these people, give it to them straight. We're gonna kick the willy bubble straight to them, good and bad. Tell me,
I didn't understand the question.
good or bad? We're gonna give it to them like we got it. The people that has helped you, good and bad. Let's start with the bad. Anybody you think that have done you wrong or could have helped you or didn't help you? I mean, you from 95, that's 3 years. It's 2020 almost. Okay, that's almost 25 years of being on the streets of Erie.
92.
But you said you had 3 years of one apartment, so that would take it to 95. So almost 25 years on the streets of Erie, homeless.
A lot of the shelters wouldn't allow me in. All of them, as a matter of fact, at one point wouldn't let me in because I see and hear too much of their business. So, and because of my intelligence, they said I knew what to do with that. So they wouldn't let me in the shelters. At one point, I was out one winter. I really don't like to talk about it.
Give us as much as you can. That's why you're here. Tell your story. Give us as much as you can.
It was 6 below zero, and I had nowhere to go with no shelter to take me in. So I went to the police station. They took me and put heaters around me because they knew too why I was homeless, and the shelters wouldn't let me in. So they let me sit there and told me to stay there long enough till I got warm, and I did. And Gannon radio station used to be right there on the corner across from the police, the municipal building. They took me in too and set heaters all around me to get warm. But both good people.
Has it been many nights like that?
Many people like that?
Many nights.
Yes, real many. Maybe not as
Bad as that one particular
yes,
night?
Yes.
Okay.
Not as bad, but bad nights. Yes, bad. Very bad.
Okay. The reasoning behind people turning their backs on an individual for whatever reason in any community throughout the United States of America, home of the brave and land of the free, is uncalled for. Do you feel that the treatment that you've received here, the backs that have been turned, the doors that's been slammed in your face, do you feel as though, from your standpoint, has it been justified?
Has it?
Yeah.
No. No, I don't believe it was justified. And what do you mean justified?
Do you feel as though the people that have did you wrong had the reason to do that?
Oh, do you mean no? No, there was no reason. No reason whatsoever. Of course, they'll tell you there was a reason, but that reason is not true. They just didn't want me in the shelters because I see and hear too much.
Okay. Well, Erie, let's not get confused, okay? She's the #1 homeless individual, like I said at the beginning, in the city of Erie, in the history of the city of Erie. You can go anywhere in any city, and you ain't got to do but say her name, and they'll say, oh yeah, she's been here, we know her, so on and so forth. Let's talk about your income. You've been on a fixed income since you came here?
Yes.
Has anybody tried to reach out to you and say, well, okay, we'll give you housing if you take care of this or take care of that, or make a deal with you of any time, because everybody knows that you've been on the streets. Now, let me ask you this before you answer that question. Has a lot of it been by your choice?
Have the who?
Have it been by your choice?
To be homeless?
Yeah.
No, by no means, no. No, it hasn't been by my choice, no. No, it hasn't.
Okay, so has anybody reached out to you and given you what you would call a fair opportunity to get off the streets of Erie?
No, I don't believe so.
Have you
as far
looked-
as fair, no.
Okay. Have you looked into, well, you mentioned at the beginning that when you came here, you didn't have that many family and you didn't have that many friends.
I didn't have any, period. Any. Family or friends. I didn't know anyone, period.
Over the years, has that changed?
Yes, it has. It's changed. Still don't have any family members here, but I know people now. Yes.
That you would consider a friend?
Yes, there has been.
Okay, well, you know, my friends, if they homeless, Cindy, I'll try to help them get off the streets. And once again, I keep reiterating the fact that you have been homeless on the streets of the area for 25 years and continue to be. Has there been anybody that has reached out to you and tried to help you to a certain extent to get you off the streets? Or just temporary here and there acts of kindness?
No. I have to say no.
What would you say to us, Cindy, to help you in your situation, to make it improve and get you stabilized to the point to where you can live on your own? What would you say the answer is? Because this is a tragedy, okay? Some of it you have to take the blame for, okay? But not all of it, okay? 25 years on the streets of Erie, okay? You got to take some of the blame. Tell us what we can do. I mean, have you went through the mental health system as far as BCMs and caseworkers and case management and all that stuff?
I have one now. Yeah. I have a BCM worker.
And know your situation. How long have you had this particular worker?
I'm going to say over 5 years.
Okay, and they know your situation
Very well.
and have done nothing to improve your situation. What good are they? What are you telling them, Cindy? I ain't trying to throw nobody under the bus.
Okay, exactly. My situation, anything, I'll take anything that will help me in my situation. What they do for me, Lakeshore, my BCM, they give me bus passes. So that helps me to get around, maneuver, especially with my health being as bad as it is. I need all the transportation I can get to get around. So they give me bus passes.
Okay.
That's about it.
Let's touch on that. When you came to Erie, were you you said at the age of 36, were you a relatively healthy woman?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so going through this struggle, like you've been going through this struggle for 20 plus years, has your health deteriorated?
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
And you can contribute that solely to being on the streets and being homeless.
Yes.
Let's talk
Yes.
about your health issues. What would you say the biggest health issue that you're facing today? Or is it a multiple?
It's multiple, but the biggest is my feet and legs. I have neuropathy in my feet and legs from the diabetes. And, walking around constantly is not really helping my legs, and it's very painful. They don't give you pain pills because people abusing the drugs or whatever. So it's painful. The neuropathy is very painful.
What about your
But I have
diet?
to walk. The diet is not what my doctor wants me to do, but she knows my situation too. And she said if I don't have anything to eat whatever I can, I have to eat something. My diabetes calls for me to eat multiple meals, 10 or more meals a day.
On average, what do you do now? Being homeless, I mean, when you run out of food stamps and you ain't got no money, I mean, the resources in Erie, they do feed you here in Erie, okay? So you just have to go to these places and eat what you can?
Well, a lot of them places throw me out because I see and hear too much. A lot of them have thrown me out, and I have a built-up of I can't say hatred towards them.
Animosity?
Animosity. A lot of animosity towards them. Whereas it's hard for me to even go to their establishment to eat. My food, I don't feel comfortable there because of that. And I'm not really digesting my food because of that. I'm always on guard when I'm there.
What is it like? Just get these people that's out there looking and listening, just give them some type of insight into being on the streets. Now, when I was growing up, we didn't see that many homeless. As I began to leave here and move away, for the time that I did, they were starting to come. But now it's a whole new ballgame. It then got dangerous in the streets of the area. Just like you told them, you on guard basically 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
How do you deal with the crime and knowing that wherever you go and try to lay your head for a few minutes or whatever, that could be the last time you lay your head down? How do you deal with that?
Being a Christian woman, I pray a lot. Prayer. I think that's, a matter of fact, I know that's the only thing got me through, or get me through, is prayer. And that is my friend. Really, truly believe in prayer.
What has been the most hindrance to you, and particularly in the winter months? Has it been the crime and the danger, or has it been the elements, or a combination of both, that has had you up many sleepless nights over the last 25 years?
The cold. Cold. It's been so cold out where I couldn't sleep.
Did you go to the overflow this year?
Yes, I did. They treated me a little better. They accepted me this year. Of course, one year they wouldn't let me go.
To the overflow. None of where the churches and all those places where we're having overflow, they actually blackballed you from coming to a facility in the winter times. Tell it like it is.
Yeah, that was the winter. It was 6 below zero. I think that was when the second year of the overflow. Yeah.
Okay, well,
So,
what about when it gets warm? What do you do when it gets warm in the streets? You just go to where people are congregating at and try to lay your head down. What do you do then?
well, like I said, there's a dealership. This man that has a.
Well, what about for the past 25 years? That dealership ain't always been there though. Okay, so what for the most part, when you homeless in the summertime, where do you go? What do you do then?
In the park, lay on the benches. Yeah, in the park.
Do you feel when you
Sit up all night.
Okay. And when you in these places, in around town, do you ever let your guard down?
Never. I don't even know how now. No.
Y'all hear what she's saying? Y'all hear what she's saying, Erie? She's telling y'all that she is a person who has never let her guard down because she don't feel comfortable. And now you're to the point to where you don't even know how to let your guard down. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
That's something. That's something, y'all. Have you tried a roommate? I mean,
I've been asking different agencies, leaving messages with them. If you know of like a middle-aged person, at least 50. I'm closer to 70 than I am 60, so if you know anyone about 50 years old in my age bracket that's looking for a roommate.
what about the high rises? Have you tried to get into any of the high rises? What has been your response from them?
I have. They told me because of the charge, well, the complaints that I had on me, I had a record. Yeah.
Okay. But to my understanding,
wouldn't
some of those
take me.
places, but to my understanding, some of those places do take people with criminal records that have certain charges against them. They still accept them, especially if those charges are old.
Mine are very old, very.
Well, have you tried to get into the high rises?
When they turned me down the first time, that was a disappointment. They shouldn't have. Kind of hurt me, so
Just straight away from that.
I tried a couple times signing up. They never called me. No one never called me. I'm on the housing authority list. They never called me. Hands, I've been on the hands list too. I don't recall receiving anything from hands.
And, you know, once again, Erie, we have to reiterate the fact that this has been going on in this individual's life for the past 25 years, okay? And as a citizen of the city of Erie, I'm totally appalled, okay? And like I said, she has to take some responsibility for being blackballed throughout the whole city by literally everybody, okay? But we have to take some responsibility as a community as well. We're getting ready to wrap this up. I want you to take a deep thought, and I want you to tell us, Cindy, in your own words, okay? You already done told us about the trials and tribulations, which I can't even begin to comprehend, being on guard 24 hours a day, mentally and physically, and still surviving out here. What can we do for you? Take a deep breath and think about this. What can we do for Cindy?
Well, just help me to get back my dignity. Help me to show me how to get that back. Just help me with housing. I've never got kicked out of housing, nowhere, not anywhere. So I would be a good tenant, excellent tenant.
And starting from the ground up, you basically have nothing.
No, I have nothing. No, I can't afford to have nothing. This is it. It costs more for me to live on the street than it does if I was in a house.
That's sad. That's sad.
So basically, my income is used up by the end of this time of the month. It's gone.
Okay. And we just over the
Very
middle, headed
expensive.
toward the end. And this has been a continual cycle. Okay. Well, one thing that I can say,
I have to eat out here, especially when they kick me out the soup kitchens. I will say, let me say, I'm angry because of the treatment I've received here in Erie, ongoing treatment. So I am an angry person. When someone angers me, I lash out. But I'm working on that behavior. I get loud, my voice elevates, and lash out, but I'm working on that because I do know that's not,
Appropriate.
yes.
Okay.
So there's some things I am working on.
Well, like I said,
I need to work on.
we know it ain't all your fault. And I think as a community over the last 25 years, we've given others more opportunities than we've given you to prove yourself to be a part of the community. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up. My email is vernongavin@hotmail.com. That's vernongavin@hotmail.com. I can be reached at the Community of Caring on the weekends. That number is 456-6661. Once again, I can be reached at the Community of Caring, 245 East 8th. On the weekends, that number is 456-6661. If anybody out there got an apartment, a room, or know a roommate, can help this woman with housing, furniture, anything, clothing, please get in touch with me. And at least let's just give her one more shot. She in her 70s, headed toward her 70s. Let's give her one more shot and show her that we not only a community that hands out, we give hands up too, okay? Cindy, thank you, and I'll see y'all again.